let us start with my live stream topic for today, which is 3 power habits for investment success. Okay, before we begin, let me give you a quick note that you can obtain the recording of most of my live streams later on. If you can just get in touch with me on my WhatsApp group, the link is there in bio, and there are a lot of other trainings coming up for the month of April and May. So definitely, if you're not already part of the WhatsApp group, definitely join it so that I can keep you posted about my free trainings, live stream, and of course paid trainings as well. Okay, a very important disclaimer: I am not a SEBI registered advisor, and this is not investment advice. All the information that will be shared right now is for educational purposes only. Do your own research and be responsible for your own money. Don't blame others, and just use what you can help to become better, but don't be dependent on anybody else. That's what my usual mantra is for any person who wants to become good at anything, but specifically in the stock markets. And finally, full disclosure, I may be talking about certain examples in this particular presentation or the live stream. Then I may be invested in some of them. Okay, so please be aware that I have vested interest in those stocks. So before you just go ahead and copy those stocks, keep that in mind that I may have interest, and I'm already holding most of them that I will be discussing, because I talk about examples which I have personally profited from most of the times. Okay, now the idea for this particular stream came from a book called The Atomic Habits by Mr. James Clear. If you guys have not read this book, I highly recommend read it. It is important for anybody who is in the stock market or any other field for that matter. Okay, it gives you a nice breakdown of how habits work, and there are a lot of books on habit, but this is the most practical book that I've found, and it has taught me, first of all, that habits have a compounding effect, just like what we have in stock market, right? Small stocks turn into big stock thanks to the magic of compounding. Similarly, habits, however small they might be, the more you do them, the more they become part of your life. They have larger and larger impact on your life, whether it's a positive one or a negative one. Again, both of them have their own habit can be good or bad both, right? So even if it continues to compound, it can have a devastating effect if it's a bad habit, or it can be a good habit, and that can actually improve your life a lot. All right, so do not underestimate the power of small habits. They have a tendency to compound just like stocks. Keep that in mind. And what happens is, when you have one habit, it triggers another habit, and that actually creates an entire system. Okay, any person's system, any behavior or any pattern that you follow to become successful or good at anything, it's basically a collection of habits, and habits, when they're collected together, are known as your systems. And more or less, if you have goals, that is good, but getting to the goals is a factor of your systems. It is not the goal which determines whether you get it or not. It is what is the system that you follow to get the goals. All right, so having a goal is good. Okay, you might have goal to become a great investor, like maybe Rakesh Jhunjhunwala or whatever is in your mind, but you need to have a good system in place to make sure that you get that goal, because most of the times a person who's failing or person who's succeeding, both of them have got the same goals. It is a person who's got a superior system wins. Okay, so the habits that I'm going to talk about are going to create a better system for you to become a better investor. They will systemize the way you look at stock market, the way you invest in stock market, the way you analyze stocks. Okay, so that is what the idea behind this live stream is. Okay, and the more important aspect of having these little tiny habits, they're just 3, but if you do it over a period of time, habits have a role in changing your identity. Okay, and once your identity shifts, then you don't need anything like motivation or any other external reason, right? It is the identity that stops us from doing certain behaviors, and when you have a certain identity, you will automatically do those behavior. For example, you might be a person who's saying, okay, tomorrow I'm going to start going to the gym. Okay, that means you're a person who, of course, doesn't go to the gym, wants to get into fitness. Maybe currently you're not a fit person, but if you have an identity of a fit person, then you're already going to the gym. You don't have to motivate yourself. You're a person who goes to the gym. Okay, I don't go to the gym. Maybe you have to someday announce that today I can't go to the gym. That's a very different mindset. Similarly, for smoking, a bad habit, okay, it's very different from saying I am going to quit smoking. That is an identity of a person who smokes, who's a smoker. versus a person who says, I don't smoke. That is an identity of a person who does not touch smokes at all. So he doesn't have to have any motivation not to smoke. All right. So once your identity completely shifts, you won't have to look for motivation as a trigger to do something. Market goes up and down. The only way you can become a consistent investor is by creating your own systems and habits which are on autopilot, so that you don't depend on motivation or any other external factors for you to get into it. You don't wait for any pandemic. You don't wait for any particular large sums of money suddenly you've got, or maybe bullish market is there, so you're kind of motivated. You heard a story, you maybe saw a YouTube video and then got motivated, but that doesn't stay for long. Motivation, as all of you know, is going to be a very unpredictable factor in your life, just like markets. Okay, so the way you make yourself predictable, or rather make your behavior absolutely predictable, is setting up tiny habits which will bring about compounded change in your life, shifting your identity, and then making you aligned with the markets and aligned with your goals of becoming or accumulating wealth. Okay, now let's start with the habits straight away. First habit, which has the biggest impact, as I would like to say, is develop a habit of fundamental analysis. Okay, it is very simple. Again, when I say fundamental analysis, I don't want you to deep dive into books and start looking at various ratios. Something very simple that you can do is whatever products and services that you come across. Okay, here's the habit I want you to have. As soon as you buy a product or see any physical object around you, try to see what company makes it and is it listed in the stock market or not. Just this simple habit. Okay, not crazy fundamental analysis. Simply, if you buy a product, or if you've seen somebody use a product or a service anywhere around you, you immediately go back and check if there is a company that makes it and what is the is it listed or not. Okay, sounds very simple, but this is one of the habits which has actually given me a couple of multi-baggers, not just one or two. Okay, so for example, if you come across, let's say, this water bottle, right? I see there's a company called Nelcon written over here, and I'll quickly go and check online. All you have to do is check online what is the company behind this product or its share price. The moment you find that, now you are starting to make a simple catalog or just information about companies which sell a certain type of products. And the best part is, if it's a product that you're already using, then you already have almost 80% of the fundamental analysis done. Now the other part remains is that you need to just confirm the numbers of the company. That comes later. But most fundamental analysis is what? To find out if the company's business or the product or the service that they make is good or not. That will determine if the stock goes up or not, right? They have to be profitable, and the way to become profitable is to have good products. And if you are a consumer for long term, especially, right, what is going to happen? The advantage is that you already know that they have a superior product. That's why you don't buy other products. Okay, same thing for services, right? So make sure that you go and quickly check, that is, it's right in your hand. We check so many unnecessary pieces of information online. Every time you see a product or service, just go and check if there is a company behind it. What is the company behind it, and if they are listed in the stock market. Now, you can do this by, of course, checking product labels, but best is to do Google search straight away. Ask for obvious questions, get obvious answers. All right. Now, this is the same example which I got because DMart was right next to my house, and I could never enter that place, and so I knew the business was good because it was always crowded. No matter where I go in India, I would see a DMart and there'll be just a lot of people. So although I did not use products or the service of DMart, but I knew it was really good because people are flocking to it. Then when the IPO came, I did not hesitate to apply, and that is where I got one of my first multi-baggers in my portfolio. Right from the IPO, I'm still holding it after the IPO. DMart, another, I think one of the first initial long-term accidental investments, which I've already spoken about, was VGuard, which was basically a company which provided the voltage stabilizer on the fridge that was right inside my house. So the first time I got to know about this principle, I saw VGuard's voltage regulator, and then I bought the stock. Not bought it, but actually I saw the stock in the stock market. Of course, later on made multiple returns on that stock as well. Both these multi-bagger stocks are thanks to this simple habit. In fact, before this I had started the habit, but I would not buy the stocks. But at least by the time I started buying stocks, the habit was fully ingrained in me. At this point of time, I don't have to think. I usually, whenever I see a product, I try to go look back into that particular stock, check product label, and go into my basic knowledge gaining exercise of knowing what is behind this product, which company is behind this product, and especially if I like the product, I'm definitely going to do the search for it. I hope this makes sense to you guys. I'm going to move on to habit number 2 from now on. And of course, if you guys in this particular live stream, if you have anything in your mind or any questions, please feel free to drop in the comments. So moving on to habit number 2. Okay, SIP of liquid Bs for cash availability. Okay, you might have seen those action movie scenes where there's a crucial part of the fight happening, and hero suddenly or villain suddenly does not have bullets in his own gun. Okay, and that is exactly what happens to a lot of investors, especially when they are trying to invest in the market. There's a great opportunity, there's a battle of course every day in the stock market, but there are times when there's a crucial movement where you have a great opportunity. Maybe a good stock has fallen down, maybe the market entirely has crashed down, but what happens, you don't have ammunition, which is your raw material, which is your capital to invest in stocks, right? To buy stocks you need some money, and if you don't have it at the right time, maybe it's the end of the month, maybe you have not at all, okay, that month has been maybe expensive for you, right? So not having capital to invest is one of the biggest troubles that a lot of people go through. Now this habit number 2, best part is it is going to be on autopilot without your thinking. If you can be disciplined enough to do it yourself, nothing like it. Now I am asking you to buy liquid Bs units in your portfolio, which is almost like an FD. Okay, and of course buy it at your own risk. I'm not certified investment professional. I'm just giving you this tip based on what I do, and this is a common sense tip more than anything else. That is not a professional investing advice. Please keep that in mind. So when you buy liquid Bs in your account, you're literally buying cash. Okay, you're buying fixed deposit ki chote units, and that will be getting accumulated in your demat. Now you can already do an SIP of individual stocks. I am not talking about that. Individual stock SIPs are different, and maybe sometimes you get a good price, sometimes you don't. I am talking about SIP of cash itself. So liquid Bs is liquid cash that you can utilize to buy stocks by selling them immediately in the market. Now if you only transfer cash into your account, right, if you only transfer cash, what happens after 30 days? That cash automatically comes back into your savings account, and then of course most likely it will get used in something else. Cash usually never stays in savings account. It either gets invested or it gets spent. That is the law of nature, that is the law of money. So what you do is you buy liquid Bs so that they stay in your demat account in the form of cash. You will get small interest on it. That interest is of no concern to us. It is not going to be very exciting interest on it. However, the day a particular stock opportunity arises, or the day the entire market is falling, and this is the time to go for that Black Friday sale. Unfortunately nobody tells us about that Black Friday sale. I wish things were like Amazon or all these companies which they have a very seasonal and very specific sale, but in stock market that is not the case. You end up getting sales only when you're least prepared, right? So this way in your portfolio you keep adding liquid Bs, you keep collecting raw material, you keep collecting your gunpowder or bullets, fill your magazine with it, and the moment that opportunity arises, that large cap high quality stock that you've always wanted to buy falls down maybe 10%, maybe market takes a crash, this is when you swoop in and you buy that particular stock. You sell all your liquid Bs, or you can put them on margin as well, again depends on you. Now what happens, a lot of times people try to leverage their existing stocks to buy stocks as well, which is not a bad practice if you can have the discipline to put the money back. But more often than not, if at all you're not able to pay that money back within 5 to 6 days, your stock position gets sold. And even selling one or two good quality stocks for such purposes, I think is a bit foolish. That's my personal view. So what you do is you create liquid Bs ka fund in your account and put that to leverage if you want to. So even if it gets sold, you're not affected that much. Your stock position stays Simple. You're just building up a cash position in your portfolio which can be converted into stock. All right. Now, to do this effectively, how do you do that? You can set up weekly or monthly auto debit in your bank account. That means your savings account, money goes into your demat account, and you also place an SIP order of buying liquid Bs in your demat account. So it's a two-step process, but you just have to set it up once. So as soon as every week or every month that day hits, the money goes from your savings account, gets connected into your demat account, and your demat already has a purchase order of liquid Bs put in, and you can keep adding to it. Now, one of the biggest examples that I could give you about this is that initially, when I did not have much capital to invest in my stock markets and the income, I did not have a job as well, but I did have small work here and there that I used to do. I would get money. So I definitely had a specific expense. Every Friday, 500 rupees would get deducted from my demat account, from my bank account, and it would go and hit my demat account directly. Okay, and back then there was no rule of the money being deducted after 30 days. It could stay for a longer period of time as well. Right now it is not possible because the new SEBI rule says that the brokers cannot hold on to cash for more than 30 days or something like that. Okay, so back then I used to do it directly in cash, so I always had cash position ready with me. And that is the time I could buy Radico Khaitan, which is one of my other multi-bagger stocks at very cheap price, because there was a sudden news of highway ban, and I had some cash with me. Okay, that stock has give out 10x returns. All right, that's why I would always recommend keep even small quantities of stocks can do a lot of damage, and that damage in the sense can actually have a lot of advantage for you in the future. So keep that in mind. However small it is, make sure you have a cash SIP going on in your demat account of liquid Bs. Okay, going back to the last habit number 3, which has really helped me become a better investor. 5-point analysis of stock that you see or get a tip of. Okay, now this is where I ask you to become a little more aware of what kind of money or where your money can go. This is not hi-fi investment analysis. Again, this is not extreme fundamental analysis, but this is extending on the first tip that I gave you, that you should always check the company behind the product. Okay, that is one habit that I have. The other one is, if you come across a stock name ever in your life, the moment you get it, you're going to immediately check the 5-point analysis of it. Now, why you want to do this? Because 90% of the time you're actually your job is to deselect stocks from investing, and investing without analysis is gambling. Now, this 2-minute diligence of any stock will make you very clearly aware of what kind of stock we are dealing with and what kind of risk am I taking. As long as you have that professionally, or not at least individually understood in your head, then you're not gambling, then you're taking a calculated risk. Now, how much you study the stock further, how much you invest in it is a later issue. The first step you need to always do whenever somebody gives you maybe an SMS tip is simple. You're going to use any website or app. You can use your phone, you can use your computer. I prefer computer, but you can use it on the phone. Money Control is a good app to do this. Screener is a good website to do this. Any particular app would do. The moment you see the stock, go check out what is the company's operation, what is the business. That's first point. Second point, what is the market cap? That will tell you immediately if it's a small company, big company, what kind of fluctuation you can expect in the stock, right? Smaller cap stocks have got large fluctuations, and larger cap stocks have more safety and less fluctuations. Again, risk is in almost all of them, but size definitely tells you the risk that you're going to take before buying that company. Third point analysis would be to look at the top line, if the company is making revenue or not. Fourth is bottom line. Are they actually making money from all that revenue? Although this changes from case to case, but at least you will have an idea of what kind of revenue they are making and what kind of profits are they taking home. That's 4 point. And fifth is important, reserves. Check if the company has got reserve cash. Do they have their gunpowder with them? Because a lot of time maybe companies going through bad phase and the top line might not be good. A lot of cyclical stocks have that problem. Or maybe they are in the growth phase, so the money is not coming, but do they have money to survive the long term? If you just take care of these 5 simple points, most of your bad stocks will be avoided, most of your bad decisions will be avoided completely. Okay, so 5-point analysis. As soon as you get any SMS or a tip from a friend or any social media tip, maybe you saw it in the newspaper, whatever the reason, if you see a stock, go check these 5 points. It literally takes 2 minutes on a money control app if you're using one, or any other app that you might have. You can also, I think most of the broker app also have got these analysis pointers. Okay, so check out quickly what it does, company, what is the size, are they making sales, are they making profits, or do they have reserves? After aimed with this information, you will get immediately motivated or demotivated to further study the stock or not. Okay, so I hope that helps. Make sure that you use all these 3 habits. Don't go after them all together. Try starting one habit. I think first habit is very easy. Second one, you have to set up only one time, and the third one is something you can keep developing as you stay in the markets for long term money. Okay, then that is it for today, guys. I'm going to be getting off from the online version. I hope to see you guys soon. I'll be doing more such live streams. Hopefully I'll be better equipped with better lighting as well. And till then, happy investing, happy trading. I will see you guys next time. All right, bye bye.